What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JWE Screenshots. We are diving back into another Prehistoric Kingdom video. Let's build video. Now this one is going to be a little bit of a longer video, so I guess I do apologize ahead of time. I think it ends up being close to about 40 minutes long. This is quite a bit of work that I did in this period of time, so you guys are going to see a lot of that happen in this video. I thought about making it two separate videos, so if it's easier for you guys to watch two separate videos of about a 25-minute, 20-minute length, I can do that instead. But sometimes I just kind of like to take it as I go. This is all one play session, so I thought, why not just go ahead and show everything that I'm doing. So right now, what I'm working on doing is making the Sky Tower ride, or Sky Tower attraction, for the kind of the middle part of the park. My idea was to have it over the water. I don't know. I think about places like SeaWorld Orlando and SeaWorld San Diego, and I just think about their Sky Towers and kind of where they're placed, and they're kind of placed next to the water's edge. And yeah, so I thought, why not put it over the water? Use a nice little blueprint of some of a dock that I can put right in the middle there, and then I can go ahead and see if I can place it there. Now I did have another idea of where I wanted that to go, or wanted the Sky Tower to go, so it was right there where I just deleted those little paths, but I did change my mind after a while. Now this is where I got super distracted and started working on a completely different part of the park. So actually, you know what? Let's completely switch gears for a second, because I think I work on something completely different now for just a little bit of time. That's kind of how my brain works. I don't know what you want to call that, but I'm just like, ooh, let's see what I can add here to make things a little bit less empty. Now I'm going to do just a little bit of a kind of a walkthrough, I guess, just to see how it looks from the inside of the entrance area, which I thought looked pretty good. I'm going to do a little bit more work to that here in a second, I believe, once I try to figure out what I'm doing next. Now, there's so many blueprints, as I mentioned in my last video, that I need to go through. But you know, you got your classic banners, you got your flags, you got whatever little, you know, added touches that you want to add to your park to make things look nice. I don't know what that dude's doing out there in the middle of the grassy area, but better fix yourself. You know, I spent a lot of time just getting some random ideas, not really knowing what I'm doing, so there's probably going to be some things that I'm going to delete, some things that I'm going to add, but I'm like, you know, the river looks a little boring. Let's add some things along the way, and we're going to continue to add things like this to the river as the park builds. But yeah, I thought, why not add some rocks, specifically rocks that look like that are pretty cool, I suppose. Now here's where I kind of got an interesting idea. In one of my screenshots or videos that I've done, I can't remember what it was, sometimes I put dinosaurs up on these little like Lion King-esque rocks, you know what I'm talking about, and take screenshots of them. But I'm like, why not make that kind of like a permanent installation, I guess, and put statues of a T-Rex and well, I was gonna do it in a Montosaurus at first, but I'm like, no, because I think I am going to put some Cenozoa creatures in here because I love them, and I feel like they have a home in this park as well. So let's do it that way. but I kind of thought, you know, they got to be kind of big. They can't just be kind of the same size. They got to be a little bit large, so that they actually have some sort of a presence in the park. So yeah, I'm looking at the Ammonosaurus. I'm like, nah, I don't really want that. I kind of like how the woolly mammoth looks, and I like the pose, but then I actually ended up changing the pose once I realized that you could actually go into the statues and change them. So if you look at the bottom right hand corner where it says the animal statue mammoth, you can change the color of the statue, you can change the pose, you can change it, you know, from bronze to gold. So that's really cool. You know, I had no idea that you could even do that. So you'll see me in a second here change the pose of the mammoth, which I do like this one, you know, kind of bellowing at the T-Rex, like, get the hell away from me. I'm on this side, you're on your side, stay on your side. But nah. A lot of time spent in this video is going to be really fine-tuning things. Oh yeah, here's where I go through everything. I'm like, ooh, look at that. That's crazy. So yeah, you got a bunch of different colors as well. I like that pose. That one's really cool. But I think what I end up doing is this one. And I liked this one because it seemed like the mammoth was, you know, standing his ground, I suppose. And I thought that was pretty cool. Because if you were a mammoth and you saw a T-Rex coming at you, you know, when they were supposed to be dead long ago, that one, I don't know if that would that would end well. Who would win in a fight, a T-Rex or a mammoth? I'm curious. Who would you think would win? Like a fully grown, like, elder mammoth with the most raggedy tusks, but they're massive, and maybe one of them has a little, like, chunk taken out of it, but you know that boy has been around for a long time. And then the T-Rex is just like a, you know, a normal T-Rex. Like, who do you think would win? I don't know. Now I'm going and putting in some of these little lights. So far I have not turned on the day-night cycle in this map yet, or the weather system. I'm just kind of wanting it to stay light outside so I can go from there. But I do plan on adding lights and other things. There are already lights, you know, in some of these pre-made things, which is great. But, you know, adding more lights to the pathing and everything so that guests have a way of getting around at night without getting lost, I suppose. Now I was going to put the viewing tower right there, and I do end up putting it right there, but I'm gonna have to move it in a second because I'm gonna have to fix the two docking pieces. They are actually not put together as of when I was making this video. I was like, why aren't the people walking on the dock? Why are they saying that it's inaccessible? And it's because I didn't put them together. There's like just this little tiny little split. So I don't think you're gonna see that in this video, but I had to fix that real quick just to make sure that I wasn't going absolutely insane. But I'm gonna go ahead and change some of these fences around to make things look a little bit nicer. Now my new obsession is fences in this game. And because this video is so long, there might be some times where you don't hear me talk for a while, and there's just going to be some Prehistoric Kingdom background music going on. I hope you vibe with that. If you don't want to hear me talk and you just want, like, vibes, there is a really awesome Prehistoric Kingdom suite music, like a 22-minute long suite that you can go and look at on YouTube and have it popped up next to these videos, and you can just watch the building with the music. Or, you know, sometimes I put Jurassic World music on too when I'm playing this game. It all makes me feel like I'm in this world. And you can see kind of right there, but I can't figure it out yet why that isn't working the way it should. And then yes, I skipped right past it, of course. So we're gonna go ahead and delete these wood pieces, these fence pieces. And as you can see, I had moved that there because I'm like, is it the amusement ride itself that's not working, or is it something that I'm doing? So, but nope, it was yeah, it was something that I was doing, or that didn't do appropriately. I think I'm gonna add some more stuff to that area as well, maybe some education boards. But a lot of the fine details of the park itself is probably not gonna happen until I'm done with this series. There's going to be details in a lot of the exhibits, which you'll see later on. I'm going to build my first, I think it's my first ever handmade dinosaur exhibit, Dino exhibit. So I thought it'd fit perfectly next to the Titanoboa area, like the wetland area. Now we're just doing a little park tour here. Just trying to get the aesthetic of everything, especially with that new welcome sign and everything in the background. I didn't realize how, big this area was, and that guests could go up on top and just chill and watch, but I think that's a pretty cool view. And I think especially in the future when there's, big, huge dinosaur sauropods and stuff in the background, I think it's only going to look better. However, I have not come up in my head an idea of what to put across this bridge yet, so everything that's kind of happening right now is what I've already came up with in my head, or I've designed on Procreate in some way. If you look at the Procreate video or picture that I have on my YouTube channel, you'll see that it just says under construction, because it is definitely under construction. My brain's under construction as we speak. Now here is a very awesome pre-made Titanoboa habitat. There were a couple really cool ones out there that I didn't see right away, and I thought that this one was really, really cool. The Titanoboa Terrace. I could tell that it was going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt to make the pathing and everything work. I think there's probably a way to do it easier than this. Maybe not. But the point being, you want the guests to have full range of motion. So the game will tell you whether or not guests can access easily things. So those little orange arrows are saying, they're a little bit close together, but guests can still access it. At least that's what I think that means. They'll show it's green if dinosaurs and prehistoric mammals and all that kind of stuff, if they can access it too, like their feeders and stuff. There's just these little arrows, and I'm assuming that's what that means, or if it's kind of like a guide for you to put it so that they don't interfere with one another, I guess. I'm not really sure. I feel like guests do a good job of finding their way around. kind of decided here that this is where I kind of wanted the wetland area to go, so I started putting down some wetland themed paleobotany and flora and all that fun stuff. And it becomes more of a themed area as the video goes on, and it will in the future. But I'm like, why not put this beautiful green water right here next to it? It adds a little bit of flavor to everything. Alright, now the fun part. Going ahead and making one of these giant boys for our environment here, our habitat. Now, if you didn't know, in the game, you can really customize your creatures' skins to a level that we haven't gotten in really any other games. Now, you know, it's stuck to the animal's base skin, but you can change things like the saturation, the hue. You can make them albino. You know, you can make them all sorts of different mutations and go from there. So you really do have a lot of control over the way that your animals look, and it's not just, you know, your dinosaurs, your prehistoric mammals, the non-vivarium animals. It's all of them. You can do this to everyone on the roster. Now, this is just one of the ways that you can pick out how your vivariums look. You go through there and you can just kind of choose at random the type of foliage that you want in there. And as you can see, I was like trying to figure out exactly how much I wanted. I wanted to guests to be able to see the big old snake. Now, in this video, you're not going to see it move. Now, the work that went into animating this thing, I'm sure, was crazy. So there are, you know, a couple chances that you'll get as you play the game. If you zoom out, just kind of like any of those other zoo games that have, you know, these kinds of things. I guess Planet Zoo would be the only one. But you have a chance to see them move or a chance to see them do some sort of animation. So with this guy, right now he only currently has one animation in game, but I do believe the developers are working on, or hoping to work on, making this guy able to be aquatic as well, so live in an aquatic environment. But there is a slithering animation. Basically what it looks like is it starts from the very top of the environment there, and then he kind of slithers his way on down and then turns around and goes right back up again. But it's not going to happen in this video. I do wish that it did happen more frequently. Like, I get that there's only one animation for this guy right now, but I think that, you know, just to see it move a little bit more would be pretty cool. But I do know that they're big babies, and I'm sure, you know, after eating a big meal, they just kind of want to hang out all day. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some more stylized fences in this area. Because why the hell not? Adds a lot to it, I think. Yeah, it's very easy just to build things like that, especially with blueprints. Blueprints are a godsend. Now, this is the part 2 that I filmed of the Dino-Kairos habitat. So I'm probably gonna not talk very much during this. You guys will be able to see why. It's a lot of me just doing a lot of building. So I'll interject a couple times, but basically the idea is just to make this kind of like a low-lying, swampy environment. I don't think I got it completely right in this video. I feel like it needs a little bit more work. especially in the back part of the environment or the habitat. So I made it basically so it looks like that there's mountains behind, so the mountains are blocking the Dinocheiruses from being able to escape, and it adds a little bit of a naturalistic look. But I feel like it's kind of like sudden, and there really isn't enough enough interaction with the environment in regards to the other parts of the terrain. So like, I think I need to do a little bit more terrain editing to make it look a little bit nicer and more pleasing to the eyes. It just looks a little jagged, but that's okay. Now here's where I was like, oh, I can build waterfalls in this game, right? Just like in Jurassic World Evolution 3. And then I'm like, wait, no, I can't. I have to make my own, or of course, use a blueprint. And thankfully there's plenty of blueprints out there of waterfalls. The game does an interesting thing where when you put water up next to paths like that, it does do a good job of blocking out, you know, the area so that guests can't get there and dinosaurs can't climb up. But it does make a kind of interesting jaggedy appearance along the outside. You can smooth it out to a degree, and that's what I do in this video, but that's not what we're going to do right at this moment. Detailing the environment in this game is just as much fun as any of the other park building games out there. So it is a lot of fun to add your own flair into your habitats and your park designs. So yeah, my idea with this one is to eventually add a waterfall into kind of like the central part. Now the waterfalls in this game are like Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster. They're just like VFX that you can add to rocks, and they fall like they're water. They fall like they're water. Wow, I can't believe I just said that out loud. That makes zero sense at all. Anyway, but that's what I'm kind of trying to do here, is add a little bit of just a little bit more life to the environment and make this look like it is actually like a naturally sloping area. So I realized that first one wasn't going to work, so I'm going to have to put a different one in there and do a little bit more editing. Simply, you know, just spin around some rocks, make it look a little bit nicer, and it just really does make things look nicer. Rocks are everything in a building game. Now, it's the random door from hell, but I have no idea where it came from, so I'm like, I'm going to delete it. But if you look really closely, I didn't realize that at first, that waterfall that I just built suddenly was deleted too. So that was somehow connected to the blueprint when it was uploaded to the workshop, but I realized that later on and I fixed it. But the fact that door just kind of appeared out of nowhere was quite frightening. Now, when you're terraforming, you kind of want to make it so that everything is as even as possible or looks as nice as possible. My first idea was to not allow the dinosaurs to have access to this area, like not make it smooth enough for them to climb. And as you'll see later on in the video, I thought that I might have done just that, but obviously not. So then I kind of changed the way that the habitat is built. A good rule of thumb is to make sure that, you know, your dinosaurs are going to be successful in your habitat, because these dinosaurs in this game are like the most expert escape artists. Like, they'll try to find the one little area in your environment to try to escape out of, like, even if they're, you know, their animations allow for it, they're gonna try and find that one little area of escape. So it's a little bit of a challenge, but it's a fun challenge. Every park needs a way for people to view your dinosaurs. So this game does offer, you know, viewing galleries, and you make them yourself. So there are so many different ones in there that I need to look through, but this is not the main viewing point in this habitat. This is just going to be like the one that's further down the pathway. There's going to be a much larger one at some point. Probably like a circular, well, I can't talk, circular rotunda type one, that kind of shoots over the habitat itself. And to finish this habitat off, you need to make sure that it's completely closed off. So I'm going to go ahead and put a null border around the outside. Make sure that the game recognizes that this is a full habitat. And it's kind of connected it right there. I didn't really go so far as to making that look pretty in itself. As always, gotta make sure that these guys can't escape, so we're gonna go ahead and put some more rocks down and just kind of add a little bit more to the habitat itself. Now, I feel like I could have, you know, done a little something different here. Maybe added another waterfall in this part of it, but I think we'll wait for that. We'll just try to get everything else figured out first now. Trying to make sure that these guys can't escape, because I know that they're escape artists no matter what type of dinosaur it is. They just somehow run for the hills every single time. Alright, so we're gonna add a little bit of foliage to this environment. I think the brushes in this game are so satisfying. Look at the way the trees and everything just kind of swirl up like that. It has no business being so satisfying, but it does. It is. And I thought about making this part a mangrove, line of mangroves, so that you know, it kind of blocked out that textured view of the pathway. Now this is what I mean when I say they're escape artists. Look at that big old boy right there. Heading for probably what is the one only spot that I can get out of, and I'm gonna mess with it right here. And it's gonna be sent back to the depths, I guess you could say. So he wasn't able to get out. I was very proud of myself on that one. But as you can see, you really gotta make things sharp and pointy. And I know he's very upset, obviously, I would be too, to make it out. Just adding a couple more safety nets here. Which, you know, they do add something to the environment after all and make it look a lot nicer. I was doing a little look over and I saw that they were able to get super close to the guests on the other side, partially because I had smoothed out that area so that it wasn't so raggedy. And I didn't hate it that they could get up there. I was just like, you know, if you were a guest and you were standing next to something that could literally tear your head off with just one swipe of its, you know, hands, its claw, you know, yeah, you gotta be a little bit more careful. So I put the guests first on that one, not myself. But yeah, this is kind of the environment that I had built for them. There's still a little bit more that needs to be done, specifically in the back part of everything, but I liked how it turned out. I thought it turned out really nice. Gonna bring things back down to normal speed here, but I wanted to thank you guys so much for all of your kind words and all of your support after the first video of the series was released. I wasn't expecting it to get any attention whatsoever, but I think there is a need for more, you know, Prehistoric Kingdom creators out there, and more Prehistoric Kingdom content creators specifically. So this is a game with so much potential and possibilities, and there are some really cool updates coming this year before the eventual full release of the game. And of course, you know, we'll be covering all those updates on here as well. Things like the combat systems and the hunting mechanics, and so much more, so much that has we've been waiting for to see. Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me in this video, and I will see you in the next one.